So one of the really fun skills in improv is justification, which is explaining why something is true. Because as soon as you say it out loud, it's true now. The audience heard it, that is the fact. You might have had another idea in your head, it's too late. Someone else said something. So our responsibility, again, as kind of yes-anding, is agreeing that that idea is true and folding it in, explaining why that makes sense. So we're gonna practice that skill because it is sometimes the most challenging thing is making an idea work. And because we are all talented storytellers, we can absolutely make tons of ideas work. But again, thinking about like, we don't necessarily want to make things super hard for our partners. We always want to be kind of mindful of the offers that we give people so that they are things that they would want to say yes to. We'll put the yes and rule that way. I haven't done my rant on yes and. Here's the thing.
Give it to us. Give it to us.
Here's the thing.
I'm leaning in.
And if you just say, like, has anyone heard of the yes and rule before?
Yeah.
How would
And.
Yeah. So if you sum it up in like a few words, I think it is wrong because you really need to unpack it more. So people say, oh yeah, the yes and rule means that like you have to say yes to whatever my ideas are. Like, barf. That's not a good rule. And that's not a good rule in gaming. Like, we literally have safety tools so that people don't do that. We like don't appreciate that type of behavior because again, that is potentially opening a loophole for somebody to have fun at someone else's expense of like, I can say whatever I want and you have to say yes. That's gross. We don't do that. So we need to unpack it a little bit more to kind of what we were looking at with 3 things is I want to be in a yes and mindset of I'm super excited about hearing your idea and I'm going to celebrate it. I have some trust that that idea is going to be something I would like to say yes to because it goes both ways. So we want to like keep that in mind is giving offers that we are fairly certain that our partner would want to say yes to and have fun saying yes to. Because otherwise we're taking advantage of this rule. Because yes and should never be like a blank check to do whatever you want. Okay, going back to justification. The and in yes and is building with that idea. And so justification is one way we do that of explaining why this makes sense and why it is true. So we're gonna practice super quick a justification exercise. And the way it's going to work is one person is going to give somebody else an offer. And you're going to make a statement. And that could be about this person's about this person's fictional character or about the fictional environment that you are in this story. It can be super mundane. It can be really wacky. It doesn't matter. The challenge is them justifying it. So we're not going to worry about like how smart and funny and interesting is my offer. Don't care. Another improv rule or guidance is don't try to be funny.
Yeah.
Because the audience can tell when you're trying and when you're making jokes. So don't worry about that. So if I were to give Devin an offer, it could be super mundane. I could say something about your fictional character, like, oh, hey, I see you got a haircut. I could give a statement about the environment of like, gosh, it's really raining hard, huh? Or I could do something really silly, like your hair is on fire. Or it's raining frogs, like whatever. I'm just gonna make a statement. So Devin's challenge is to say yes because. And so agree that thing is true and explain to me why it's true and like own that. So again, it doesn't have to be the most exciting explanation. Like, yes, I did get my hair cut. I went to my favorite stylist. Yeah, it is raining. There's this thing called an atmospheric river. Have you heard of it? Yes, my hair is on fire. I just like to watch things burn.
Yeah.
So the challenge again is accepting that offer and giving us a little bit more backstory to explain why it makes sense. So I think what we could do is just kind of bounce around. So we don't necessarily have to go down the line, but you can just kind of toss an offer to another person. And again, keeping in mind that like gentle eye contact, we want to stay with them, and receive the response. And then we can pass it to somebody else. So if I said, Lindsay, hey, I saw that you got a new purse.
I know, the old one got stolen and I just had to replace it.
Perfect, fantastic, crushed it. So now you can just... And you can pass it to somebody else.
God, the traffic was insane today.
I know. I think the bridge was closed down or something like that.
Nice.
And I throw to somebody else? Are all these children yours?
Unfortunately so. The adoption center was having
A sale.
not a sale. Yes, two for one.
Sale.
Yeah. They were having a volunteering gig, so I wanted to volunteer. Wow, that could have been really bad. I tell you.
Sorry, I'd like jumped in on that. I got confused.
Oh,
My
that's
bad.
good. I like what you did with your hair.
Yeah, I decided to just turn out the lights and just follow my heart.
Looks beautiful on you. Love it.
It is literally raining cats and dogs outside.
It is my dream. This is the best weather I've ever seen in my life. Everyone's gone. Should I? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my God. It's like the man himself. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You're feeling sick today.
Yeah. Taco Bell, right?
Nice. You want to pass it back to me?
Yeah. Can you believe there's that many locusts just flying around?
Yeah, listen, my bad. I made a deal. Let's just say it didn't work out. Okay, cool. Let's pass it around again.
Yeah.
So I think that was amazing. What are some things that were coming up? What are some things that peeps were noticing?
I think most of us went with fictional person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very gamer thing to do.
Yeah.
I think we're very character plot driven.
Yeah.
So we definitely see that. Anything else? What did you find was like the challenging part? Was it giving the offer or justifying the offer? There's no right answer.
Well, I had a moment because I know you're supposed to be improvising, but obviously I knew my statement that I wanted to say or ask, but it was about cats. And then I received a cats and dogs thing. And I was like, oh, panic. I can't do the same. So that was just a good lesson in not prepping, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's the receiving and like having to come up with something and just following it through, you know? I think it's just the commitment to the bit.
Yeah,
Commit to the bit.
commit to the bit.
It was hard to keep eye contact.
Yeah.
I just realized I definitely broke eye contact.
Yeah, I'm sure I did too.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think the eye contact made me step on her bit a little bit, and I was like, "Oh wait, I'm sorry." I was like, "We're just like staring at each other, like, what are we?"
Yeah. Was it comforting? Maybe.
Yeah, we're just like reading each other too hard.
I think while offering and refusing, I wanted to make sure I didn't ask something that leads to like a closed-ended answer and not to give one where it's like, okay, now this conversation is over, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do you, the bit must continue.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
for the
like, open
purposes of this
offer.
exercise, it can just be one line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't necessarily want to have the answers to everything. Really, we only need to have half of an idea, and our partner's going to fill in the rest and maybe offer half of another idea. And then you can fill in the rest. So, and that can be very stressful, I think, especially for gamers, of thinking like, I have to come up with my entire character backstory. I have to have exactly my turn planned out so I know exactly what to do that's the most efficient and like the best for the party. And I think having a more improv mindset of I'm going to go in mostly with my idea and kind of figure it out. And also the other side is like, I'm going to see if people need support and if they are like open to ideas, if they're asking for ideas, I'm going to give some. Yeah, let's do it one more time just because it's fun. Yeah, that's all I got. So, okay, so Pi, hey, I'm not sure how to tell you this, but your jacket, your jean jacket is entirely shredded.
Yeah, I decided to go for a complete 90s goth look, and I just leaned really hard into that.
Nice.
Yeah. Devin, I really like what you've done with the flooring in here.
You know, when a truck at Home Depot goes missing, a lot of home improvements can happen.
Now we know why.
Lindsay, I can't believe I have 3 mothers.
So I'm going to pause you there.
Oh.
It's going to be about Lindsay.
Oh, that's okay. That's
yeah.
I can't believe you have 3 mothers.
Nice pivot.
Me neither, but it's been really wonderful having so many maternal figures around.
Very touching.
Darren, I hear you haven't been sleeping much lately.
Yeah, I really cracked something in my back, and then that caused me to not sleep well, and then now I can't sleep because of the crack in my back, so my sleep made me lose sleep. I don't really know how that works. Who hasn't gone? Amanda. Amanda. Do you know the person that lives here?
Oh, yeah, we've gone back years. I actually got him this apartment.
Yes.
All right, Egyptia.
Yes.
Why do you keep turning out all the lights every time I enter a room?
Because I'm scared of everything and everything's just scary, so I have to turn everything off.
Fair enough.
Wow, you look so tall today.
Yeah, I got new shoes. They are 6-inch platforms.
Amazing.
Can't walk in them.
Look real good standing still.
Exactly. Yeah. Great. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Yeah!
To check in again, now that you've done a little bit more, what are some of your thoughts about like the skills that we're using in this?
I think getting used to eye contact because I feel like I'm not used to it. And so staring at someone, I'm just like, I don't want to disappoint you.
Yeah.
I trust you so much and you
Yeah.
trusted me. So I'm not going to let you down.
It definitely is a tough skill. I'm very bad at it. And so it's something that I always have to remember to do in improv because you really want to stay with your partner.
It's like immediately surrendering to a situation
Yeah.
and like wanting to like listen. You're like, okay, be the person that's like listening to this thing being said to them and like, what would they say back? And it takes like, you're like, eat, and you're like shifting a bunch of gears really quickly. So
Yeah, because it's really active listening.
Yeah.
Right? It's that so much of improv is being super present and in the moment and very receptive.
Seems like you have to merge like Darren hearing it and then switch it to like this person that they're talking to is hearing
Right?
it.
Because it's also in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt myself trying to ignore trying to come up with prompts and then consciously ignoring. And then I was like, wait, what do I need to say? And that I think was what I was trying to get to is like, just say the first thing that comes in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I struggle with that as
Yeah.
well. Like I completely, my mind empty. Boring. Let's go with
But
it.
that's, right, the more we do it, the more we can
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
things forward.
Yeah, and again, that's why you would practice this maybe a little too long, you know, to really get in that mode of like, I am just like from brain to mouth, because it's very scary, but can also be really exciting to be like, I don't know what I'm going to say. Here we go. And one thing that is really helpful to think about, again, with like the yes and rule and creating a fun environment to play in, is that even though we're trying to turn our inner critic down a little bit, not judge the quality of like how funny, how smart, how clever we are, our decency filter is a different dial.
Yeah.
And so we want to think about that too, because there's tons of different styles of improv. And at one theater that I often perform at, we would do a 7:30 show and a 9:30 show. The 7:30 show was the family friendly, bring your kids, we'll try really hard not to swear, you know, all ages welcome show. The 9:30 show is the, 18 and up, anything goes. People are probably already 2 drinks in from the bar down around the corner. Different vibe and like different expectations. So sometimes we switch up the types of games that we, the types of scenes that we'll do, the content that we'll bring in, and it might get a little raunchier because that's like what we've agreed to with the group. Right. So, though we're practicing a lot of trying to turn down our inner critic, we always want to keep in mind, what show are we doing?
Yeah.
And I think that that's important in gaming, of thinking about like, what genre is this?
Yeah.
What is the setting here? Are we playing a horror game where really we probably shouldn't be giggly? Like, we want to keep that in mind. Things like that. Great.
If you like this and you want to check out the book, go to evilhat.com and you can pick up Improv for Gamers, 2nd edition by Karen Twelves. Thanks so much.